Welcome to my channel Old Gold Coins today. Videos is one you want to miss. We're diving into the world of coins, so let's get it started. The 2012 United States 5-cent coin, commonly known as the nickel, features distinctive designs and characteristics that reflect both its historical significance and the evolution of American coinage. In 2012, the nickel was produced under the design specifications set by the U.S. Mint, and its composition remained consistent with previous years. The nickel is made of 75% copper and 25% nickel, which gives it its characteristic silver-like appearance. On the obverse front of the coin, the nickel features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. Jefferson has been the face of the nickel since 1938, with the design created by artist Felix Schlag. The image of Jefferson on the 2012 nickel is a depiction of him in his later years, based on a painting by Rembrandt Peale, and it has remained unchanged for decades, with some minor alterations over time. The inscription, "In God We Trust," appears above his portrait, and "Liberty" is inscribed to the left, while 2012, the year of minting, is located on the right side of the coin. Jefferson's bust on the obverse is surrounded by a rim, and above his head is the word "Liberty," emphasizing the ideals of freedom associated with the coin and American heritage. On the reverse, back of the coin, the 2012 nickel continues to feature a design introduced in 2006, which was part of a series of coins celebrating the history of the U.S. westward expansion. This design features a rendition of the famous depiction of Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate, in a side view. Monticello was an important part of Jefferson's legacy, serving as his primary residence and a symbol of his intellectual and agricultural pursuits. The image on the reverse side of the 2012 nickel is a rendition of Monticello, which was designed by artist Felix Schlag, with the building's iconic dome and columns. The words Monticello appear above the building, and E pluribus unum, Latin for out of many one, is inscribed below it, reflecting the nation's unity. The reverse also includes the denomination 5 cents at the bottom, indicating its value. The 2012 nickel did not feature any significant changes or special releases compared to other recent years, as it adhered to the ongoing design established in the mid-20th century. This was part of a longer-standing tradition, where the U.S. Mint does not make frequent changes to the nickel's design, unless a special occasion or anniversary warrants a redesign. However, the nickel's production was notable for the volume of coins produced during that year to meet the needs of circulation. The Mint produced millions of nickels to meet the demands of daily commerce, and like all U.S. coins, they were minted at facilities in Philadelphia, Denver, and West Point. The number of nickels minted annually varies depending on factors such as demand and coin circulation patterns. Over the years, the nickel has maintained its role as one of the most commonly used coins in the United States, despite its relative lack of significant changes in design or composition. In fact, the value of the nickel has been a topic of discussion due to inflation and rising production costs. It costs more than 5 cents to produce each nickel, raising questions about whether the U.S. Mint should consider changing the composition of the coin or redesigning it to reflect modern economic conditions. The 2012 nickel is also a part of the broader history of U.S. coinage, which has evolved over the centuries. The nickel itself was first introduced in 1866 as a 5-cent piece, and its design and composition have been altered over the years, reflecting different periods in U.S. history. Today, the nickel remains an essential part of American currency and continues to circulate widely. In terms of its collectible value, a 2012 nickel in average circulation condition typically holds its face value of 5 cents. However, as with all coins, certain factors such as minting errors, special editions, or coins in pristine condition can make a specific 2012 nickel more valuable to collectors. Some numismatists also take an interest in coins based on the year of minting, especially if the coin is part of a larger collection or set. Overall, the 2012 United States 5-cent coin is a continuation of the long-standing tradition of American coinage, featuring the portrait of Thomas Jefferson and the iconic Monticello building on the reverse. While it didn't feature any major design changes, it remains an important piece of American currency and history. It reflects both the heritage of the nation and the ongoing role of coins in daily economic activities. The United States of America 5-cent coin, commonly known as the nickel, is a small yet historically rich piece of American currency. The 2021 nickel continues the long-standing tradition of featuring President Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. Since 2006, Jefferson's portrait on the obverse front of the coin has been a forward-facing depiction based on a Rembrandt Peale painting from 1800, offering a more personal and direct gaze compared to earlier profiles. The word liberty appears in script, which is a facsimile of Jefferson's own handwriting, followed by the motto, "In God We Trust," and the year 2021. The mint mark, either P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco, appears to the right of Jefferson's bust. The reverse, back, of the 2021 nickel features Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate, which has been on the coin since 1938 with a few interruptions. The design shows the west front of Monticello, with the name Monticello below the dome. Surrounding it are the E pluribus unum, Latin, for out of many, one, United States of America, and 5 cents. The reverse was originally designed by Felix Schlag, who won a design competition in 1938. His initials, FS, were added to the coin in 1966, and now appear beneath Monticello. The composition of the 2021 nickel is 75% copper and 25% nickel. It has a diameter of 21.21 mm, 0.835 inches, a thickness of 1.95 mm, and weighs 5.0 grams. Unlike pennies and dimes, the edge of the nickel is smooth, not reeded. It is minted in large quantities, primarily for general circulation, but collectors can find proof versions with a mirror-like finish from the San Francisco Mint. Though worth only 5 cents face value, the nickel is a significant artifact in American history and culture. Its evolution reflects changes in artistic style, metal availability, and political priorities. For example, during World War II, 1942-1945, nickels were made with silver instead of nickel to conserve materials for the war effort. Since 2004, the U.S. Mint has occasionally issued special commemorative nickels, such as the Westward Journey series, which celebrated the bicentennial of the Lewis and Clark expedition. In 2021, despite being a standard issue, the nickel continued to play an important role in daily transactions, vending machines, and commerce, even as electronic payments and coin shortages during the COVID-19 pandemic brought attention to the future of physical currency. While inflation has reduced the purchasing power of 5 cents, the nickel endures as a part of American tradition and as a teaching tool for young students learning about money. Collectors of the 2021 nickel look for special characteristics such as errors, die varieties, or full steps on Monticello's depiction, indicating a sharply struck coin. These features can sometimes increase a coin's value well above its face. Though generally common, high-grade examples, particularly proof or uncirculated nickels, are often sought after in numismatic circles. In summary, the 2021 U.S. nickel is more than just small change. It encapsulates American ideals, historical, reverence, and Jeffersonian legacy, all in a small copper-nickel disc that continues to pass through millions of hands across the country every day.